We're neighbors.
Have you noticed all the decorations around town? Lately, I've been seeing a lot of skeletons. Sometimes they're posed to look scary, but I've seen a lot that look like they're doing normal stuff, like gardening or walking a dog or even driving a car, just like live people do, only these are just bones, pretend bones. These decorations are a way to have fun with big stuff that otherwise might make us sad or scared. They remind us that death is a part of life, and maybe they take some of the fear and sadness away. For many, many people all around the world, the presence of the dead seems easier to feel at this time of year. So it seems like a good time to honor them, to think about and talk about family and friends and pets who have died. From Korea to Mexico and all over the world, people build altars in memories of their relatives who have died, whether recently or long, long ago. On altars like this one, they will put photographs and treasures like jewelry or special objects, and lots of flowers and food, because really nothing says welcome like a plate of yummy food. So for our time of the Wisdom for All Ages, we're gonna make a plate of food, and it's called a spirit plate, to put on our altar here as an offering to the memory of the ancestors who we are thinking of today. We have a lovely little table all set with food to choose from. There's beautiful citrus fruits, wild rice, cornmeal rice, chocolate, sweetbread, and milk. In a minute, I'm going to invite the children to come up and help Lindsay with making that plate. But before that, I want to talk about the flowers on the table. They're called marigolds, and they came from Reverend Kevin's garden. In many Latino cultures, the marigold is a sacred flower for the Day of the Dead. Flowers symbolize the brevity of life, meaning they don't last forever and they should be enjoyed while they're here, just like life, just like our living relatives. And the bright colors and spicy fragrance of the marigolds are thought to attract the souls of the dead to the ofrendas, the altars prepared for them. In small towns in Mexico and beyond, families will make floral paths of marigolds from the graveyards where their loved ones are buried to the front doors of their homes where they're welcomed at the family altars. So any children who would like to come and help Lindsay make the spirit plate can come forward now. And as you go back to your classes, I'll invite you to take marigolds up with you to Kids Connection, and you can put them on the table next to your chalice. So if there's any children that would like to come and put some food on the plate, or Lindsay can do it herself. Come on up if you'd like. You can put, there's oranges from our trees. There's some pan dolce. There's chocolate. Those are a special kind of chocolate with turmeric. Okay. And you can take a flower too, or take more than one flower. They're kind of like each other, so they might be hard to separate. Feel free to take all of them. They're all going to go up with you. Yeah. And you're going to take those up with you to Kids Connection upstairs and put them on your table with your chalice. Thank you all for coming up and helping to make our celebration more welcoming and beautiful and delicious. And we will sing you off now to Kids Connection. Your lantern to light the way. Shine. Before we settle deeper into the service, if you've not had a chance to bring something up and place it on the altar, now is a good time to do it. You can bring it yourself, or if you want to hold it up, somebody will bring it up for you.
Take me back, O hills I love. Lift me from this lonely bed. Light my way with stars above. Curl soft wings about my head. Wash my feet in crystal streams. Cradle my arms in boughs of oak. Breathe the scent of pine for dreams. Wrap me tight in earthen cloak. Take me back, O hills I love. Lift me from this lonely bed. Light my way with stars I love. Lift me from this lonely head. Light my way with stars above. Cradle my wings above my bed. Light my way with stars of dreams. Curl soft wings above my head. Wash my feet in crystal streams. Cradle my arms in boughs of oak. Breathe the scent of pine for dreams. Wrap me tight in earthen bed. Take me back to hills above. Cradle my arms above my bed. Light my way with stars of dreams. Cradle soft wings above my head. Wash my feet in crystal streams. Cradle my arms in boughs of oak. Breathe the scent of pine for dreams. Wrap me tight in earthen cloak.
Thank you. Good morning. Happy Halloween. Blessed Samhain. Feliz Día de Muertos. And all the other ways there are to welcome and acknowledge this special time of the year, this turning inward time of transition from fall to winter. My name is Beth Karow, and I welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Community of the Mountains, where today I am joined by Lindsay Dunckel as worship associate, as well as our fine AV team. Eileen Hale is our Zoom host. Welcome to the folks on Zoom. And musical blessings will be shared with us by Toby Thomas Rose, Kevin Tarsa, Rowan Karow DeGanji, Annette Dunckel, sorry, I know there's an L in there, Liana Sapphire, and Catherine Young sang for us this morning. Thank you, that was absolutely gorgeous. The ritual of welcoming and honoring ancestors is an ancient spiritual practice found in many cultures and traditions. Thus, we'll begin this morning's ceremony by paying tribute and expressing gratitude to our many ancestors. As we do so, we will cast a circle incorporating not only our ancestors, but the directions and the elements, which will also be including the familiar rituals we've come to expect as part of our regular Sunday services. Although, for the sake of any newcomers here today, I suppose this would be a good time to say there really is no such thing as a regular Sunday service here at UUCM. Welcome all. I am Beth, mother of Willow Rose and Rowan Lily, daughter of Linda, granddaughter of Betty Jean and Florence Annie, great-granddaughter of Bertie Mae, Marie, and 2 others, great-granddaughter of Allie Marie, Ruth, and 6 others, and so on and so on. Ancestors all. Whether names are remembered or forgotten to history, I carry them with me in ways I don't even fully know. From our histories, our ancestors call to us, asking to be remembered, asking for forgiveness, perhaps. We are grateful for their gifts, their lessons, and their challenges, calling us into accountability and responsibility to fulfill their hopes and aspirations while offering a quiet, supportive foundation as we strive to reach goals unimagined in their time. We begin by calling on those ancestors who were present in this area long before any of us, and whose land was never ceded to the colonizers, the first peoples, the Nishanan. With this basket of black oak acorns, we express our heartfelt desires that their descendants, who are living here still, yet nearly invisible, may recover more and more of their rich cultural heritage through federal recognition and be seen in all the ways they wish to be seen. Ancestors, be with us. Ancestors, be with us. We call upon the early Unitarians and Universalists, both lay people and ordained ministers, who brought our faith tradition from its roots in New England all the way here to Nevada County, California, within the Pacific Central District itself within the Pacific Western region, seeking both frontiers of being and new ways of being in community. Ancestors, be with us. Ancestors, be with us. We call upon the ancestors of the Unitarian Universalist community of the mountains, who built, grew, and dreamed this church and this community into being. Today, we recognize the passing of our newest UUCM ancestors, John Burnside, Stu Scudder, and Ken Harris. We add their names to the 47 others who have gone before and are represented by leaves on our tree of remembrance on the back wall. We light our chalice in their honor with the words written by Florence Kaplow.
As we kindle this flame, we honor and remember those who have passed into the mystery. Their brightness lives on in our vision. Their courage lives on in our commitments. And their love continues to bless us, to bless the world through us.
We call upon our activist ancestors, some who have lost their lives in the struggle for justice, freedom, and liberation of all people, who challenge us to honor the fullness of each and every human being. We especially lift up those ancestors who experienced racism and oppression right here in Nevada County, Gold Country, and those who sought to right the wrongs. They call on us to put an end to hate in all its ugly forms. Ancestors, be with us.
Ancestors, be with us.
We call upon and honor the beauty of the earth, this particular part of creation in which this church ministers, the mighty Yuba River and its many tributaries, the forested foothills of the Sierra Mountains, the oak trees and the pines. The earth is our oldest ancestor, and it calls us to remember our interconnectedness to nature and to the history of the land itself. Lastly, we call upon and invoke our own individual family ancestors, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, our siblings, as well as our extended family of mentors, guides, friends, lovers from across time and place to be here with us. Each one of us brings into this space our own network of beloved dead. We will speak some of their names now, and those on Zoom will type into the chat, and Eileen will speak them into the room. Angelo, Elizabeth, Matthew, Bill, Betty, Florence, Kenneth. And now we will cast a sacred circle by invoking the directions. Please turn to the east. If you'd like, you can stand for this. You don't have to. Turn to the east as we invite the ancestors residing there in the place of knowledge and wisdom to join our circle. Ancestors, be with us.
Ancestors, be with us.
Please turn to the south as we invite the ancestors residing there in the place of energy and will to join our circles. Ancestors, be with us. Ancestors, be with us. To the west, as we invite the ancestors residing there in the place of passion and emotion to join our circle. Ancestors, be with us. Ancestors, be with us. Please turn to the north as we invite the ancestors residing there in the place of endurance and strength to join our circle. Ancestors, be with us. Ancestors, be with us. You may be seated. We have gathered here and now a great cloud of witnesses, ancestors all. Can you feel their presence? I can. Feels like goosebumps on my legs. May our ancestors guide us on our way. May they bless this space and time and the work of beloved community we undertake in their footsteps and on behalf of those who are yet to come. The circle is now cast, and we are in sacred space together. Each week, we share a simple but powerful ritual of caring and concern, where what we carry with us in our hearts and minds, in our shoulders and in our jaws, can be symbolized by these beautiful stones. Whether celebrating or grieving, we can pick up a stone, a precious piece of earth, and allow it to take the place of all that we are holding. Placing the stones in the water in this bowl, symbolizing the bowl itself, symbolizing the container of caring community that we create here together. We notice how the dropping of the stone creates ripples that expand to encompass the entire bowl. We know that we are not alone, neither in our joy nor in our sorrow. During today's special musical offering, you are welcome to come forward to mark what is most pressing on you today. And those on Zoom, please feel free to briefly type into the chat.
Sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
I place the last stone for all that remains, perhaps too tender yet to be brought forth. I cannot help but notice the symbolism that below the seemingly calm surface, there are many, many unseen burdens that most of us carry. We trust that beyond absence, there is a presence, that beyond the pain, there can be healing, that beyond the brokenness, there can be wholeness, that beyond the anger, there may be peace, that beyond the hurting, there may be forgiveness, that beyond the silence, there may be the word, that beyond the word, there may be understanding, that through understanding, there is love. May we be that love for each other and for ourselves. For the first of our two rituals today, we're going to be doing a little writing. And I'll explain more while the greeters pass the baskets or facilitate the passing of baskets. Jean will pass from behind and Carmen will pass from the front. When it comes to you, take a slip of paper. I think that there's enough if you want to take two, but I think one should do. And a pencil whenever it comes to you. Make sure the pencil has a point. And I'd like to share with you part of a blessing that I used to say before each service. We've sort of gotten out of the habit of it, but I started saying it regularly right as we did the COVID pivot to online services. And I think it fits well here. It begins, may all the words that need to be spoken be heard. May all the words that need to be heard be spoken. Again, may all the words that need to be spoken be heard. May all the words that need to be heard be spoken. So today, I invite you now to think about someone who is no longer here with us. Someone to whom you might have something you would like to say. Or maybe not like to say, but maybe kind of need to say. Maybe it's something you didn't feel comfortable or safe to say while they were living. And maybe they passed unexpectedly before you had a chance to speak those words. I think you understand where I'm going with this. But I'd especially like you to summon your own courage to bring forth those words that are perhaps really hard, words that for whatever the reasons, you could not speak to them while they were alive. Go ahead and write what you can. And I realize it's a small piece of paper and it's a brief amount of time. So you're not going to have time to write everything, but just make a mark or jot down a word or a phrase or two, something that means something to you. This is only for you to see, you and your ancestor, whoever that is for you. Remember, in this case, we are using the word ancestor to extend beyond family lineage. Folks on Zoom, this is an experiential ritual. I encourage you to get your own piece of paper and write your words, and then you can bury that or burn it later in your own way. So when you are finished with this writing and I'm finished speaking, you're going to bring your papers up to this beautiful bowl of water collected by my husband from our own Yuba River. Lindsay's going to stir them up, and that paper will dissolve into the water. Please know that I've carefully researched the environmental impact of this special biodegradable paper, and it is safe to use in this way. And later today, I'll pour it back into the river, where we can imagine it gently going, flowing to where it needs to go, saying what needs to be said. When you are ready, you may come up. In special recognition of the 97 or probably more people and the countless animals and plants who were killed in the wildfires that swept across parts of Maui on August 8th of this year, we dedicate this second ritual of remembrance to the people of Hawaii. It is called Ho'oponopono, and it is an ancient Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and forgiveness. Ho'o means to cause or to make, and pono means right or proper or a perfect order. So put together, ho'oponopono means setting things right, or to put things in order or balance. The practice is simple, but very powerful, and it can be done alone or one-on-one, even in a group. Some people do it at the same time each day. It can be done silently, but some say that speaking the words out loud gives them more power. Many people begin and end their day with a ho'oponopono practice. There's 4 steps. You can do them in any order. You can think of ho'oponopono as a circular mantra, and you can begin at any point on the circle. We'll start with what might be the hardest part: repentance. I'm sorry. Just 2 little words that hold so much weight Now, this isn't an admission of guilt or of fault or an invitation to assign or take blame. It's just stating a feeling of remorse for the situation. I'm sorry. Next, asking for forgiveness. Please forgive me. It's really important to note that true forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means making space to acknowledge that the problem exists. Kuma Sabra Kauka, a Hawaiian elder, historian, educator, and activist, says, "It is much bigger to forgive than to carry the burden of blame, and then to move on from that point, because only by forgiving and moving on can you reach a higher point. Please forgive me." Then love, the greatest power we can tap into. We are steeped in it, and the more we share it, the more we feel it. I love you. And lastly, gratitude. Thank you. It costs so little and means so much, changes everything. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. So for this brief introduction to the wonderful practice of Ho'oponopono, we'll go through this 6 times together, calling to mind various situations, various people and places in our lives where this might be profoundly helpful. Please speak these words with me and feel free to close your eyes as you visualize the following situations. We'll start with ourselves. Our relationship with ourself is often the one that is most fraught with conflict. When we heal ourselves, we can help heal the world. Let's speak Ho'oponopono to ourselves. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Next, someone in your close circle, your family, your friends, the people you interact with regularly, the people with whom you might take some not so nice shortcuts with. Let's speak Ho'oponopono to someone close. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now, an ancestor. This could be someone who you know, who left this plane without the opportunity to reconcile your relationship, or it can be someone in your far distant past that you just want to connect with now in this way. Let's speak Ho'oponopono to an ancestor. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Now to our community. Someone either in this community of ours here at UUCM or beyond, someone with whom you feel out of balance. Let's speak Ho'oponopono with someone in our community. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Next, the planet Earth. We could do this one repeatedly, all day, every day. Ho'oponopono for the Earth. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And lastly, we'll return to ourselves. This time, though, I invite you to say this to yourself, but as if it were coming from someone else, spoken to you from them, someone you need to hear this from. So let's speak ho'oponopono to ourselves from someone else. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. May all the words that need to be spoken be heard. May all the words that need to be heard be spoken. Amen, and blessed be.
A Litany of Wholeheartedness by Don Cooley. Because there have been times when shame has crushed our ability to be wholehearted. We let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we have not always had the courage to be imperfect. We let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we have struggled to have compassion for ourselves or others, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we have been afraid of our own vulnerability, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we are sometimes too scared to live authentically, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are. Because we want to be wholehearted people, confident in our worthiness and our belonging, we let go of who we ought to be and embrace who we are.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering.
As we bring into our remembrance those we have loved and lost, I imagine I'm not the only one including animals in my memories. Not only special pets, but also wild animals we have somehow befriended or who have befriended us, or those we've only glimpsed from a distance but felt honored by their presence. 25% of our offering this month will support wildlife rehabilitation and release, dedicated to the care and rehabilitation of injured or orphaned wildlife. Each year, their team successfully releases over 100 different species of native wildlife, including mammals, songbirds, raptors, waterfowl, reptiles, and amphibians. If you wish 100% of your offering to go to wildlife rehabilitation, use the white envelope in the collection basket. Your giving is vital to our ability to sustain the work of our community. Thank you for your generosity. The offertory this morning will be played by members of UUCM's string ensemble. The tune Puzzle Box Sailor was written by Karow in the tender moments just after she learned that her friend had died unexpectedly this July. Ethan was a sailor, a voracious reader, a fan of puzzles and games, and Rowan's sister Willow's first love. News of his death was a shock, and writing and playing this piece has helped Rowan to cope with her feelings around the loss. Thank you, Willa. Thank you, Rowan. So sorry. It's the second time somebody's called Rowan her sister's name today. Thank you, Rowan, you unique individual, for that beautiful piece. Truly, music can speak when words fall short. Thank you for your generosity. We dedicate this offering to honoring all creatures, great and small. Thank you to our musicians and our singers and our sound people and our audiovisual people, to Eileen at the chat, to Linda Siska and Beth Karow for this glorious setting, to our greeters and our refreshment people, to Linda Siska and Cheryl Spalding upstairs with many, many young people this morning. And a special thank you to Beth for this beautiful, evocative service. I really appreciate what you bring to us, Beth. And this Friday, honoring our ancestors' potluck. There are cards like this in the foyer that you can prepare for your dish that says what the dish is prepared by in memory of. So if you want to pick one of those up, we'll be eating our ancestors' food this Friday at 5 p.m. And as always, our website is full of information about upcoming events and more, uugrassvalley.org. And now, won't you please rise in body and/or spirit and join in singing our closing song, All My Memories of Love.
Memories of love hang upon high stars. All the souls I've lost to tears, now the autumn jars. And the air around me here thickens with their song. Sing again their nameless tunes, sing again strong. Willows in September touch the water clear, set among the rushes tall of the flowing year. Rising up from sunlit past comes the shadowed side, running toward me silently, love to fortify. Many are the graceful hearts hung upon this tree, and it seems there's room for mine on these branches free. And the sky above the tree, whether wet or bright, is my ease and comforting, my good news and light.
We'll end our time together in sacred space by acknowledging and releasing the directions and opening the circle. Ancestors, spirits, guides from the place beyond our knowing, it is time for you to return. We may or we may not have said all that needed to be said in your lifetime, but on this day, we have remembered you. We have said some of what needs to be said, and we have tried to set things right through the ancient way of Ho'oponopono. Now we send you back across the veil to the place where you belong as our beloved dead. May you rest easy. Until we meet again, farewell. Farewell. And in the way that feels right to you, please turn to the north. Ancestors of the north, guided here by the acorns and the stones of earth, we thank you for blessing our sacred circle today. Now we release you. You are free to go. Hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. And to the west, ancestors of the west, guided here by the water of the Yuba River, we thank you for blessing our circle today. Now we release you. You are free to go. Hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. To the south, ancestors of the south, guided by the fire of our chalice and the many candle flames has ignited, we thank you for blessing our sacred circle today. Now we release you. You are free to go. Hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. And ending in the east, ancestors of the east, guided by the air that carries the fragrance of flowers and fills the feathers of birds, we thank you for blessing our sacred circle today. Now we release you. You are free to go. Hail and farewell. Hail and farewell. The circle is now open, but unbroken. And though we extinguish our chalice light, we know that we will continue to carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. See you next week.